It's songs like this that serenaded the audience. Sang by Vusi Nova, the song titled I'd Rather Go Blind was the song that made him become a household name. Vusi also took the time to sing Memeza, a song dedicated to the late Brenda Fassie. The picnic is not only about fun, but also used as a platform to bring together people from all walks of life.
Big up to Tembisa, big up to the organizers for doing a concert like this. Because I feel like most of the time people, most festivals and stuff are all about house. You know, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the house, but I appreciate the fact that people have taken time to actually celebrate soul music, to celebrate R&B.
The Afro Jazz and Soul Picnic was the first annual outdoor event in the Ekurhuleni region. It was an event aimed at creating platforms for up-and-coming artists of the region as well as renowned South African musicians. One of Johannesburg's finest jazz sensations, Jazz Mellow, are a local discovery of the 20th century. This multi-talented group entertained the masses by playing sing-along jams with a touch of jazzy house.
It means a lot because of, in Tembisa there are a lot of people whereby they play about DJ music and everything, but then now it's time for people to have that thing that is live.
With the recent spate of xenophobic attacks in most parts of the country, various South African musicians have come together to say no to xenophobia.
We would like our music here in South Africa to reach international standards. We make music not just for our local crowds, but also for the crowds abroad. And for us to have to, this is our country, and we are committing these hateful and violent and evil and crude acts of inhumanity. It's beyond disgusting. I can't even find a word. It's vile. It's disgusting. I'm trying to find like a really intense word to describe how just disappointed I am. My first step, obviously, is to stand against it, join a couple of campaigns and route, but I want to do more, and I'm trying to figure out how as a human being you can really commit towards change. Besides the marches, which are a great idea, I don't dispute that, and the conferences and everything else, and us tweeting about it, yes, awareness, but what more can we do?
Next year, the organizers say that they will have concerts promoting young brands and artists. They also hope that 2016 will be bigger and include big South African musicians such as Lira and Hugh Masekela to attract a wider jazz market. The South African music industry has also been affected by the recent xenophobic attacks that spiraled in various provinces throughout the country. Many local artists were banned from performing in other countries because of the attacks on foreign nationals. Now, a South African musician has taken it upon himself to release a song titled Let Humanity Reign. He is now joining us from our studio to talk to us a bit more about what the song is all about. Hello, Mezzo, and
Hi.
Welcome to Afroshowbiz News.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us again. So tell us a bit more about what Let Humanity Reign is all about.
Yes, I decided to write this song when, in times of strife or upheaval or war, for that matter, anywhere in the world, it's the kids and women that suffers the most. And in this instance, it was no different. Mm-hmm. And when I saw a picture of a child striking a forlorn figure, mm-hmm. and a mother lying next to it, tired obviously of looking for a place to stay, it moved me, and it prompted me it propelled me into action. Mm-hmm. And as well, what also encouraged me to do this is that it conjured up images of our dark past when we were treated like foreigners in our own country. Yeah. And that moved me into action, and then I said, okay, let me sit down over the weekend. And I wrote the song in 1.5 days.
All right. Now, with the recent xenophobia, obviously, it has affected a lot of musicians, as I mentioned before.
Absolutely.
Some of them have been banned from performing in other countries. Yes. How do you think, that affects the music industry as a whole, and you maybe personally as a musician?
Well, it's the good thing is obviously that we need the African diaspora to give us this exposure, and as Africans, it is in our best interest to spread a message of love, hope, and of tolerance. And for me, as a musician that believes in spreading a message of humanity, that's why I wrote Let Humanity Reign, and writing music with a purpose and with a message. It is crucial that we go in the right direction and do the right thing. The next right thing is crucial.
Amaz, if you were in a position of authority in the country, what would you personally do to send out a message of peace, about these inhumane acts?
I think we should start with at home, where we, instead of concentrating about further from our borders, it's a question of creating a real sense of statehood, of nationhood in our country. Deal with our own issues first, and then it will be easier for us to deal with other issues, because we're actually a rainbow in tatters at the moment. And in order for us to go to the next level, we need to embrace each other first in order to embrace other people.
So how big do you want the song to go? Who do you want the song to reach?
The world.
Yeah,
the world, everywhere. Every little I send it to the United Nations as well. Yeah. They've got some committee on racism, xenophobia, and any humanity issues, covering that. I send it to them. I'm just awaiting response from them.
All the best with that. Back to you. What are you working on? What are you working on besides this?
I'm working on a song called Real Love. Sometimes away from the serious stuff, I also do love songs. This is a real love song, a slow jam, a tearjerker. And I'm doing it today, actually. We're doing the voices today in studio. So from here, I'm going straight to the studio.
All right. Well, thank you so much, but we have to wrap up now. All the best with everything. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, the project for the study of alternative education in South Africa, PRESA, has scooped this year's top children's book prize. The project received the Astrid Lindgren Memorial Award at the world's biggest prize for children's literature. PRESA was founded in 1992 and is based in Cape Town.
The organization works with children and young people to improve literacy in poor communities. The jury praised PRESA for its innovative reading and storytelling projects, such as books in various local languages and reading clubs in vulnerable communities. Carol Bloch, who is the director of the project, highlighted the importance of teaching children to learn how to read in their own indigenous languages.
Literacy in South Africa is a huge challenge because most children grow up in communities where the adults around them have not got a literate background themselves, so do not share reading and writing with their children in ways that children find inspiring. This is what we're all trying to address now. Our literacy levels are low because children will read if the adults around them read with them, read to them, and at the heart of it is the language issue. We need to ensure that African languages become languages of high value and status in their print form and not just equating literacy with English.
One of the schools benefiting from the PRESA is the Ukanya Primary School in Masiphumelele. Children at the school also participate in reading clubs that combine singing, dramatizations and dancing. Mayekiso is a psychology graduate and says she sees a number of children coming to either read or borrow books from the school library.
So at the library, I get to observe many kids reading, coming after school and just taking books and taking in and out books for them to read. Some come with their parents, and I think the number has increased now since Nalibali has been in the community, the number of kids coming to the library.
Among these kids, it's 7-year-old pupil who comes in here every day to read with his mother, Fundiswa Fezani. Fezani says her son's performance in school has improved since he started the PRESA project.
Yes, it's helping a lot. I was even impressed of his results at school. I was even asking his teacher today, how did he got all the straight 7s? He said he's good. I told him I read the story every day for him.
Lily Swamgwaju is a teacher and the center's principal here.
They came with the program. I didn't have excitement on books or reading the books. But when they came, I learned more about the books, and I love to read stories for my children, and they love it, and they listen, and they answer the questions. They know what they learn.
Praiza will accept the Astrid Lindgren Memorial Award on the 1st of June in Stockholm.
Time now for a break. Stay tuned for more.
The dudes and dudettes, did you know that us young people make up more than like 1/3 of South Africa's population, but only like 1/4 of the voters? I mean, what's up with that? We're the ones who can make a difference. You, me, everybody. Register and make it happen. Cheers, dudes.
Welcome back. You're still watching Afroshowbiz News. Performers from around the world attended this year's 3rd International Festival of Drummers and Traditional Arts in Cairo, Egypt earlier this week. Under the slogan, Drums Dialogue for Peace, the festival promotes and celebrates different cultures. The opening ceremony was attended by over 20 countries. Mexico and Burundi were among the 10 countries that took part in the festival for the first time. Let's have a look. A festival aimed at promoting cultural exchange. It is here where performers show off their drumming skills on stage. They also showcase their country's traditional music and dances. Organized by Egypt's Ministry of Culture and Tourism, as well as the Youth's Ministry, the festival carries the message Drums for Peace. And this is why the event is so special.
I believe that the value of this festival is that it reaffirms Egypt's place within the international community and Egypt's individuality, and it also confirms Egypt's keenness to embrace all the other cultures of the world through bringing them together in a humanitarian stand.
Manager of the participating performers from Lithuania said this about his country's participation at the event.
We are very happy and very lucky that the Ministry of Egypt Culture invite us to represent it here in this festival, our small country. We are very happy that all people can to see us, to listen our music, to see our dancers and our song.
India, Sri Lanka and Russia were some of the countries that took part in the festival, with Ethiopia being the guest of honor. Spartacus of Africa has announced a lineup for this year's magnificent ballet production, which will feature at the world premiere in June. Choreographed by South Africa's acclaimed choreographer, Veronica Paper, the ballet will cast Brooklyn Mack and two of South Africa's dancers, Lara Turk and Andile Ndlovu, who have made names for themselves internationally. To talk to us a bit more about the production, we are joined in our studio by Jilly Hemphill. Hello, Jimmy, and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's really wonderful for you to be here.
Thank you so much for coming.
It's a new project, and it's been re-choreographed by Veronica Paper from her original one, which was done in 1985. But this time she's got ballet pupils and she's got contemporary dancers. And so it's given a lot of dancers in a really failing industry a lot of work. So there are going to be 120 ballet dancers on the stage at one time, with a full orchestra in both Johannesburg and Cape Town. And the challenge with this project was, in fact, to design a set that was going to be able to be transported. And so the KMH architects, who designed the Artscape and the Cape Town International Airport, have designed this amazing pack-awayable set. And the vines, which have been woven together, are green plastic bags that have been done by two developmental projects in the Cape. And so it's a way of using recyclable things as well, and making it light so that they can travel from Cape Town to Johannesburg.
All right, now, if I can just interrupt you there, Jilly, perhaps take us through how this production all started.
Well, this production actually came to mind about 5 years ago, and it falls under the banner of the South African National Dance Trust. And we had to get funding. So Veronica's had this dream for a long time. And so we started in 2009, actually, and we applied for funding from the lottery, which they eventually got, and we only got it really last year. So then by that stage, it became, it was 4 years later, and obviously the budget that we'd initially sort of started off with became a little bit untenable. So due to budget constraints, we haven't been able to take it to Durban. But we will be taking a smaller version there 2016. So the Durban people can do it. Anyway, so Veronica we got a team together from Cape Town. There's a Robin Taylor who's actually running it from the ground. And there's a whole trust that's involved. And what they also do is that they are doing educational workshops. And the educational workshops are not just ballet orientated. They are towards learning about the theatre, learning about dance, lighting and different dances and staging and costumes. Yeah. So there's got a whole educational element to it as well.
Now, for young aspiring choreographers in the country, what would you like them to take away after seeing this ballet?
Well, she is amazing. I watched a rehearsal with the young students here last Sunday, and they were just amazed. They're amazed by her calmness and by her absolute integrity and how fantastic she is. And I think that she's also going to be giving workshops, choreography workshops. She's an amazing lady, and I think she's got a lot to give young people.
Right now, Julie, perhaps just tell us, when you're sourcing your dancers, do you look for established or upcoming dancers to take part in the production?
Both. And in fact, they found a really wonderful dancer in Durban, and his name is Casey Swales, and he's in fact one of the Spartacus lead roles with Brooklyn and with Andile. And so they've developed him. So I think that they were really amazed. We did auditions around the country, and I think Veronica was amazed at the talent up there. So she's taken both established and up and coming.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Julie, for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
You are still watching Afroshowbiz News. Now, if you've missed any of our shows, be sure to catch them on our YouTube channel by simply searching for Afroshowbiz News. Time now for another ad break. Stay tuned.
Information-hungry viewers stay with SABC News, as issues on the West are different from issues on the East or here in Johannesburg. So it is not surprising that people who follow the news know that there are two things for sure: that anything can happen, and SABC News will tell you when it does. Because we keep the nation fully informed. We are SABC News.
A young man from Limpopo, Mahlatse Vocal, has been nominated as the best newcomer at this year's Fame Awards. His first single, Follow, has created a household name for Vocal in the music industry. The Fame Awards will take place in Limpopo next month. Now, Mahlatse joins us in studio to talk to us about his new single and his musical journey. Hello, Mahlatse, and welcome.
Hi, Miss. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for coming. First of all, congratulations on your nomination. How are you feeling about that?
Thank you very much. I'm feeling very astonished. Like, I'm just happy about it because at least now I'm getting a bit of a recognition, especially from the province where I grew up. And, you know, with a lot of work that I've been putting in my music, at least now people can realize that, you know what, there's something good that I've been working on.
All right, why music? Where did your love for music begin?
All right, the love of music started when my father used to love music a lot, but he didn't sing. He just loved collecting CDs and all of that. However, when I started listening to the music that he used to play, and I started imitating that, and I started singing in church, and I started singing in a lot of community places where they had events like your pageants and all of that. So, I mean, at the age of 16, that's when I really started taking it serious. However, when I came to Joburg in 2001 to come and do my first year in civil engineering, that's when I started really taking it much serious to a bigger scope with what I do.
Now, for those that don't know you, how would you classify your music style, and what makes you different from other artists?
All right, first of all, I know that I'm an African, as much as I'm in South Africa. However, my music is influenced from a lot of things, life in general. And what makes me different is that I took a lot of elements from all the music, from an R&B, from gospel, from even a lot of our African music that comes from Nigeria, Congo, wherever. I took that and put it into one. So that's why I call it an Afro music instead of just an Afro pop, an Afro soul or R&B, but I call it an Afro music.
All right, now for many musicians in the country, many upcoming musicians, not all of them managed to get recording deals, you know. But how has that maybe affected you? How does that maybe affect you rather?
Well, with me, it was a different case where we once had a group and we were recorded by Slala Slaughter. However, when I started saying that I want to do this like full force, I started putting a lot of efforts by myself until I got to partner with a company called Yourself Management, which is the company that signed me now. We call it Yourself Music. And, you know, for starters, it was more about they listened to the music and they saw that it was now complementing what they do in the marketing. And we decided to take this journey together. So it's more about hard work than any other thing.
So your single Follow is out?
Single Follow is out. I mean, you guys are going to be dancing first of all. And the single Follow is also influenced by a lot of our African music. We've got a bit of saxophone. If you'd remember Fela Kuti, I've got a little bit of inspiration from him as well. As much as vocally, it's what I do, like in terms of singing. So Follow is one of the best songs that you'll ever hear. And it's about to hit the market by storm.
Yeah, but you released a single. When can we expect a full album?
The full album should be coming out at the end of August, sometimes, because obviously, I mean, we really need to put up, you know, a more of a knowledge into just covering up the whole, everybody in terms of the people that loves music. They will understand when they listen to the album, they will realize that there was a lot of efforts that have been put in the album. I'm into the 5th song now. Well, about 10 left, but this Follow song, it's one of the songs that is going to really open a lot of doors.
All right, well, thank you so much. You're going to be performing for us, right?
Yes, I'm going to perform Follow.
All right, thank you so much for joining us.
All right.
The multi-award winning documentary film titled Dear Mandela is currently screening at the Constitutional Hill in Johannesburg. Directed by Dala Kjell and Christopher Niza, the film highlights human rights issues and also educates people about their rights.
South Africa's international isolation is over.
Nelson Mandela begins a new era in South Africa.
We are going to build houses for you. It is not something that we can achieve overnight.
Dear Mandela is a movie that focuses on a journey of 3 friends living in a shanty town in Durban. The storyline takes the audience through a journey starting from when the friends refuses to be evicted from their shacks by the South African government.
They've demolished a lot of shacks and now they're threatening to demolish mine.
The move was carried out by security forces who wanted to get rid of the slums. In the movie, the trio end up taking their plea to the highest court in the land. As a result, they became leaders in a growing social movement known as Abahlali Basemjondolo. The flick offers a new perspective on the role that young people can play in political change.
What he has been jailed for has never been achieved.
Nobody is thrown out. Everything we've done is within the Constitution.
Winner of the multiple awards, including Best South African Documentary at the Durban International Film Festival and a nomination for Best Documentary at the African Academy Awards. Dear Mandela has screened in 35 countries and been translated into 10 languages. Dear Mandela will be screened in informal settlement communities on a national tour after the Constitution Hill screening to help highlight human rights issues and inform and educate people about their rights. It will be screened until May the 25th.
Lego toys have been around for a long time, and believe me when I say they are not just toys for children, they're also sometimes used by creative minds to create masterpieces, and that can be seen at an exhibition titled The Art of Bricks, which is currently taking place at the Zone in Rosebank. The exhibition is the brainchild of Lego.
The Art of the Bricks, the world's most popular Lego exhibit, features sculptures created entirely from Lego bricks. Internationally acclaimed artist Nathan Sawaya's thought-provoking sculptures appeal to the minds of children and alike, testament to the supreme creativity and timeless joy of one of the world's most popular inventions. Loved by presidents, academics and companies and millions of school children over the world, Lego has been described as a unique educational tool with an ability to appeal to both the analytical and creative halves of the human brain. Voted one of the world's top 10 must-see exhibitions by CNN, the Nomadic Expo has already toured cities in North America, Australia, Asia, and Europe. And now it's in South Africa to show locals how an ordinary game can be reimagined as fine art. With displays and interactive tuition areas designed to maximize enjoyment for all ages, the Art of the Brick promises to be one of the most interesting expos ever to feature in South Africa.
We are playing out with a performance by Mahlatse. He's going to sing his hit single titled Follow Me. From me and the rest of the team, it's thank you and bye-bye.
You got to come alive, got to shine your light. It's a wonderful ride. Don't let it break.